Big tech is determined to take a more active role in this year's election. Facebook is taking down Trump campaign ads after Democrats complained they were misleading. Meanwhile, on Twitter, a short video of Joe Biden retweeted by the president became the first Twitter video ever to be marked as, quote, manipulated media. What's going on here? We think you know. Harmeet Dillon is an attorney and advisor of the Trump campaign and someone who's deeply versed in the ways of big tech. She joins us tonight. Harmeet, thanks so much for coming on. So is what's happening here what seems to be happening here?
Absolutely. What you're seeing here is big tech giving a big assist to one side at the expense of free speech and transparency. And to be clear, Tucker, they know that the president utilized this media to communicate with voters directly in 2016 and win, and they're not going to let it happen again as easily as it did before. And so meanwhile, Americans have become inured to this censorship, and the government's doing nothing about it. So we have a real problem on our hands.
I don't understand how monopolies, which shouldn't be allowed to operate anyway under current law, are allowed to subvert our election way more profoundly than Putin ever considered doing. And the Congress just sits there, part of it controlled by the Republicans, and does nothing. Explain that to me.
Yeah, absolutely right. The problem here, Tucker, as you've covered on your show many times, is that politicians talk out of both sides of their mouths, and I mean politicians in both parties. They take cash from the big tech companies, Google, Twitter, and Facebook. The lobbyists' hordes are descending and welcome in Capitol Hill at all times, and many of the staffers in Capitol Hill and even in the White House are interested in that revolving door that gets them a big salary, triple what they're earning now or more when they leave government. And so that is a confluence of factors. Meanwhile, the FEC has not caught up with this new technology, and there are no rules governing what looks to me and you like a in-kind contribution from these companies to these campaigns, and at a great expense to our democracy. One side is allowed to use effective ads and mock our president. The other side is labeled as manipulating speech, when in fact we're simply showing the words of Joe Biden, which are really deeply troubling. And so, and this goes much deeper, Tucker, when you look at the coronavirus. Zero Hedge was a website that was showing the truth about that and its origins in China. It's now been banned from Twitter. And so there are very sinister implications of allowing these companies to manipulate and show exactly and choose exactly what speech we can see as Americans.
Yeah, I mean, if this continues, Republicans will control precisely nothing ever again. And so this
Absolutely.
is, in some ways, maybe their last chance to level the playing field and to let free speech live, and they're doing literally nothing. And we're speaking to you, Senator Lee of Utah, and a lot of people like you. It's really distressing. Harmeet, you've done more than any lawyer I know of on this subject, so thank you very much.
Thank you, Tucker.